Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Host Talk. Today is November 5th, 2015, and we are joined with some of our composers, nekodex and cYsmix. How are you guys doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. A little bit heavy-eyed, but, you know, I'm here.
Hello.
Hello.
And we're also joined with our co-host with the most, Deadbeat. How you doing, man?
I am really hungry.
Well, hunger gets the best of us. So today we're actually going to have a little bit of a different discussion than what we normally do, guys. As normally we like to try to stay around the video game and things happening with the video game and all the cool stuff about that. Now we're going to kind of look towards the musical side of things, which, you know, always gets me excited. You can't have the game without the music, so let's talk about the music. So we've actually got cYsmix and nekodex here, and for those that might not know who they are, like a simple search will answer your questions, but hopefully today we'll get to introduce them a little bit. So with our first question, guys, we want to know how you got into making music, but also just introduce yourselves a little bit for those that are kind of scratching their head going, well, who might these people be? Although if you've been following the news, there's no way you couldn't know who either of them are, but you know.
I'm gonna let you go first, Jeremy.
Okay. Hi, I'm nekodex. I make some music for the OS games. Yeah.
Keeping it simple. Keeping it simple.
Well, I'm cYsmix, and I also make music for the Osu game.
Oh, is it cYsmix?
Well, you know, I get this question a lot, but whatever way you say it is not important to me. I'm fine with anything.
Oh, good, because I've been saying cYsmix.
That's fine.
Sweet.
Okay, so what got you guys into actually working with music? Was it something you were really passionate about during school, or was it just a hobby that turned into something more?
So for me, with music, I never really got how people made music, and at a young age, I was interested in figuring out how that stuff was done. And so I searched a little bit on the internet about it. I think that was 7 years ago now, 7 years ago. I found this wonderful program called Fruity Loops, which is what I used to make my music. And I just started doodling around, and it was a lot of fun. I never treated it super seriously, but I just kind of had fun in it, and it developed into a hobby and an interest.
FL Studio, huh? That's actually pretty cool, because I mean, a lot of times when I talk to some of my music friends, they're like, oh man, Mac Race, you know, Reasons and GarageBand and stuff like that, and then people are like, oh no, you can't use a Windows computer for music. Well, that goes right there. Well, I don't know. FL Studio is Windows only, right?
It is, but there is a beta for a Mac.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The
Well-
assimilation.
Don't say that. I used to be on a Mac.
Oh no.
I used to make music on the Mac.
I don't have any actual hate for Mac or anything, man. It's just I've always been really heavy towards the Windows side, and FL Studio is the only music program I've ever messed with myself, and I've never done anything super amazing. It's
I don't know.
usually just messing around with loops and stuff like that.
I've always thought Mac was better for creating stuff, so... It's just
Go away.
that seems to be what the operating system is more catered towards.
No.
Yes. What it's more for.
nekodex, help me out. What do you use for your music? Are you Windows or are you Mac?
I use the Macs just to ruin your little arguments.
Aw. Okay. Well,
It's 1 for
that's
1.
unfortunate. Alright, so, nekodex, within, turn to that situation, what got you making music as well?
This is an interesting one. I didn't really decide at one point that, hey, I'm gonna go make music. I think it just kind of happened. Growing up, my dad was a musician, so I was always kind of around music really. So like I kind of got some sort of insight into how music was made, but like I never really learned. I was just kind of really a kid. But I don't know, like as I grew up, music just seemed interesting, so I learnt keyboards, I think, as a kid growing up. None of this piano nonsense, just like half-assed keyboard learning. So from an early age, I kind of like had a rough idea on how to handle keys, I guess. I mean, I was never really a good student, so I didn't really learn properly. I kind of dropped it for the longest time, and then I think in high school I played the trombone, which is kind of a weird departure, but that kind of gave me some appreciation for the, I don't know, more orchestral side.
There's nothing wrong with playing the trombone. I was a second seat French horn in high school, so yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I tried the trumpet and I wasn't really good at it though.
Oh, it took me forever to get. I'm sorry. I'll apologize. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna make a dumb joke about trumpets.
That's basically what I was going to do. It took me forever to like, cause the music teacher, they're like, you have to pull from your diaphragm, yada yada, this, that, and the other. And when I was learning the French horn, like I was so bad at it, they literally put me in a room away from everybody else till I yeah, good old USA schooling there, man. If you're bad, don't help them. No, put them in a room away from everybody else till they get decent enough. And it took me a while to finally get it, but I finally got to where I started getting seats in like concerts and stuff, which was pretty cool.
I always remember, like, when I played the trumpet for a bit, I'd always look at the trombone and like, how do people do that? It just seems weird trying to, like, I don't know, I just never got the concept of, like, having to have your hand, like, position away from your body.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like muscle memory. You kind of get a rough idea of, like, which position corresponds to which note, so you kind of just learn it, really.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I suppose muscle memory makes sense.
I did actually, I used to play piano. I never, like, got good at it, but I loved playing the piano. And when I moved away from my dad, who had the piano, I wanted to still do music, and this is before I started making it electronically. I still wanted to do music, like play an instrument, and so I took up saxophone.
Really?
Yeah.
Saxophone.
And
Oh man.
and I really wanted to play the saxophone, and it was so popular I was stuck with the clarinet.
Oh man.
Which
That is a,
the saddest.
That's an interesting instrument to pick. I don't think many would go for the saxophone.
I don't know, like the saxophone, I had a buddy that played it, but I remember he used to tell me he'd pay like $35 for reeds. Like, and I was like, what? Like, it made no sense to me. And he's like, oh no, you have to get specific types. They make better sound. This, that, yeah, my cat's meowing in the background. I do apologize there. So, moving this a little forward real quick. We kind of touched base on it, but what kind of programs do both of you use? We know that cYsmix uses FL Studio, but are there any other programs you use on top of that? Or like, I know you don't want to give too much information probably, but like if you wouldn't mind like talking about a couple of the VSTs and stuff you might use as well, for those that, you know, have a little bit of know-how for FL Studio that might be wanting to produce similar sounds.
Sure, I don't mind sharing my secrets. They're not real secrets. I use a lot of different plugins for a lot of different sounds. So there's this program for orchestral sounds, which is basically a plugin called Philharmonic Orchestra. And it's a kit with all the essentials. It has choir, it has strings and drums and everything. It's very useful. You can find a use for that in any type of music. So I like mixing a lot of stuff, and so there's basically no genre I haven't found an orchestra sound on that track not viable. Like, I think it fits everything. So I use that for orchestra. I use for basses, which I have a bunch of plugins for that. I use Spire, I use Serum, I like Massive, but it's getting a little bit outdated. I know Jamie uses Massive as well.
I use it a bit, but Serum Master Race, etc.
Yeah, there's a lot of... Basically, there's no one plugin that you kind of just get the sound you want with. It's a collection that you get over time that you just find the plugin you're the most comfortable with. And right now, I really like Serum. I really like Spire. Solanth is great. But really, it all lies in the mixing. Like, you can make any sound great if you just know what buttons to tweak. So you don't need an expensive setup. I still don't have a MIDI keyboard. Like, I make everything on my just regular keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've known a lot of people that have been like, there for a while. I was messing around with FL Studio, thought maybe I had something going for me. I didn't. But one of the big misconceptions that me and a couple of my friends that were kind of like doing the music thing together as a group, kind of like we'd all come and show each other's like, yeah, this is what I did over the weekend, and it's not really that good. And then we had that one friend that actually knew what he was doing, and we were all like jealous, and we'd just be like, no, it's bad. We weren't very good friends. But no, I mean, we'd eventually tell him. But one of the biggest misconceptions I had growing up is that, oh man, if I want to be able to do this music stuff, I need the special little keyboard, I need the little launch thing. You don't need none of that. You really don't.
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head with it. It's not necessary.
Yeah, like I made music for like the first 6 years, and I've been doing it for 7 now without spending money on any expensive setup. Like I bought a couple of preset packs, I bought a couple of synths, and those are just good enough. You can make anything work.
Very true, very true. So nekodex, what kind of programs do you use?
Up until recently, I used a lot of Reason to make a lot of music, but like I found that I was kind of reaching for a lot of sounds that were a lot easier to come by just by using certain VSTs, which Reason doesn't have support for. So I took a look at the other various DAWs, and for whatever reason I randomly picked Logic, and I got used to it, so I kind of stuck with it. So I'm using Logic now, just mainly to get access to VSTs, which I couldn't do with Reason.
Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, I didn't mess with VSTs too long, but I do know that one of the coolest VSTs I found was just this little it was like a little 16-bit hardware VST. It had all kinds of different presets for different console systems, like Atari 2600, Super Nintendo, NES, stuff like that. And it wasn't like a perfect replication, but it was close enough that it was fun to mess with.
I need to say though, you don't have to pay for plugins, because there's a lot of free out there. Free plugins.
Yeah, this one I was talking about was a free plugin to VST.
Yeah.
Are they mostly like communal plugins, or are they from the developer themselves?
There are a lot of plugins. I use this one website, I think it's called KVR, where it's a giant database, and you can filter by whether or not it's free or what the price is. And that's a very useful tool for anyone who's getting into it, because I know when I started out, I didn't have the money. I didn't want to invest money in something I didn't know if I was going to keep doing or not. And so I would download a bunch of demos. I would download free plugins, obviously, and if I found myself using those demos a lot, I would pay for the plugin. It's very convenient how it's set up.
It does actually sound pretty good for people starting off.
The thing is, like, a lot of people overlook that a lot of DAWs come with huge, massive banks of instruments and sounds that are, like, really, really good, but, like, no one seems to use it because everyone just has the assumption that everything that comes with the DAW is just not good enough. But, like, I think if you take a look at a lot of recent popular tracks, a lot of them just use the inbuilt stuff, and most people who listen to your music won't really know unless they're another producer who's gone through that stuff themselves.
I haven't really done it lately, but it was kind of funny there for a while when I was looking at lots of VSTs and sound packs and stuff. I was browsing, I guess you could say the word. I didn't look for it the same way that you guys look for it. I did it a little bit more on the I'm broke side, but I had a whole bunch of stuff, and I just started coming across these loops that started sounding really familiar, and like I found out that like some of the song packs and some of the things I was downloading was what that Renner dude uses, and it's pretty simple once you look at how the music's created. Like a bunch of that stuff that people like a lot is just a bunch of really nice calculated loops.
I gotta say, like, if you really want to keep enjoying music, you should probably not make music, because once you start taking a look at all the parts, like, you just can't stop hearing them.
Yeah.
I actually remember a while ago.
I recognize that vocal sample.
Oh yeah, that's something. It's like if you go to film school and then you watch a movie afterwards, and it's like you analyze like plot holes and this was shot in like a dolly shot and blah blah blah, and your mind starts drifting towards the technical side.
Not even consciously either. It's just oh wait, that snare. Wait, why am I thinking about this? Let me listen to the song.
It's like you teach yourself how to analyze songs so you can learn from listening to other people's sounds to find out how they make music. So it's like a double-edged sword.
You find yourself noticing more and more and critiquing it more based on what you notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that kind of works with most industries, really. The more you do something, the more you notice.
For sure, yeah.
But just about that, like, what sort of styles do you guys like making? Music-wise, of course.
I enjoy a lot of styles. There's not really a style I don't make if it's on like the EDM spectrum, I guess. Anything electro related to trance or house or anything like that, I love making that. I do love making orchestra music as well, but it is difficult because I haven't gotten that into it, and it's a whole nother process. But if it's in the EDM spectrum, I'd say I will make it.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar to cYsmix. Like, my tastes are pretty diverse, so I've made a lot of different things that just kind of go all over the place. I don't know, I've gravitated towards EDM, but I don't know. You guys listen to my music, you can tell me what genre you think that is.
I feel like a lot of people end up going towards EDM after a while.
It is a very hip, cool kid scene right now. But I'd say your music, Neko, is more like trancey or like progressive. You have an affinity towards the longer songs.
Yeah, I think more recently I've been playing around with like more trancey, progressive stuff, but like a lot of the earlier things I did was more towards the drum and bass kind of stuff, purely because I was kind of hooked on a lot of the releases from Hospital Records at the time, so I was just like listening to so much of the melodic drum and bass that I just kind of got stuck in my head, which is like kind of some of the ideas that I got for the Ostream stuff, which is some of the earlier stuff that I did for Dean, really.
Do you still have some of that D&B around?
Yeah. If you check my my Bandcamp, I released a free Toho arrange of drum and bass mixes, so you can check that out if that's your thing.
Check it out.
I shall. It sounds most intriguing. I do like.
Okay, so Go ahead.
I was gonna say I do quite like some D&B.
Yeah. I'm pretty impartial to Tuhu, so I kind of stay away from it. Yeah, I know. Hate train starts. But while we've been talking on the subject of music genres and stuff like that, are there any artists that you guys look up to or watch out for that like kind of inspired you when making music?
I feel like I could just answer for Jamie right now, but
I know this really cool guy. He's called cYsmix. Like, he's helped me a lot going forward. It's just like he's giving me all these little tips and tricks and little advices.
that
Sounds nice of him.
Let's just throw Nato out there right away, and then Jamie can talk.
Yeah, Nato. Yeah, that guy's a pretty big influence on us. Like, I don't know if you guys really know because he's kind of a niche-ish Japanese producer, but recently he's had some releases on one of the Armind child labels. So he's like getting some playtime on A State of Trance and stuff. So I think it's gonna probably take off pretty soon.
I think he's hardly taken out. But, yeah, that guy is magical. But, yeah, I look up to him. I like a lot of like, if they've been on my albums, I kind of look up to them. I invite people that I really enjoy the music of, and that's the fun, is that I remember when I was this, like, newbie who didn't really know what he was doing, and now it's like I could collaborate with the people that I look up to, and that's a really awesome thing. Just to mention some, I really like Isna. I like Disco Bass. I like Shibayan, who makes Toho music. I was a huge fan of ARM from ISIS. I was a total Toho weeb. I've kind of floated away from that now, but yeah, I kind of stick to the same, like, a small group of people I look up to, but mainly it's Nato.
Alright, cool. Well, that's good to hear, and on the off chance that they might hear this, they'll probably be pretty excited on the off chance. So, the next question we have for you guys is, obviously, a lot of people have been talking, and they want to know collab and when, and hopefully a date now. No, I'm kidding. But what kind of chance do you guys see as you guys doing collaborative efforts together?
We're gonna do it.
Should we just say sooner than you'd expect?
Yeah.
No, you see, that doesn't work because I expect something tomorrow.
Yeah, like
sooner than you expect.
I'm already imagining there's a project file built up and you guys have been passing it back and forth.
Do you?
I think you hit the nail on the head there.
We're talking about it, and we're kind of doing it. So I guess we're committing to that now.
Awesome.
I can't wait to see what the result is.
Forth, but like, if it's not good, then we're not going to release it. So
yeah. It's more of like a brainstorm thing where we're doing things, and whatever sticks, we'll work with it.
Yeah, well, that's something I kind of want to go off on a little bit of a tangent on. You said that you wouldn't release it if you don't feel that it's up to your standards, but have you ever just, like, made a bunch of stuff, and obviously for whatever reasons you didn't like it, but you go back and listen to it every once in a while to just try to find out why you didn't like it?
I know immediately what.
Oh, you know immediately? So it's just like instant trash can for you. There's
I will not waste my precious time on a project that is doomed in the trash can. I kind of tell, like, if it's not working for me, I just abandon it, and then I usually never go back to it. Maybe I will do it if I'm, like, searching for something and there's a deadline. I'll just see if there's anything I threw away that I'll be able to work on now that it's been a while, but usually there's like so many project files that are just sitting in limbo, just collecting dust. Yeah.
Is it generally like a point? Yeah, is it generally like a point where you decide, like, this is shit, I need to get rid of it, or is it just like, this isn't working?
For me, it's like I put in enough time, and then if I just feel uninspired and feel that it's unoriginal and not really something that I would get anything out of if I were to release a full version of this, then I'm just gonna let myself not struggle with that and just start all over again.
Well, another question with that is, like, how many times do you find yourself accidentally, like, because, I mean, composing, you go through a lot of different beats on a regular basis, like, especially when you're jumping from project to project or just looking back on stuff. Do you ever catch yourself using parts from older songs into newer songs and then changing the way they work?
I do.
I have like a folder of like 850 or so projects just sitting in my Logic folder. A tiny fraction of those actually gets released, but like...
Yeah, just a small amount.
Yeah, but like a lot of them, I don't just delete them. I go back every now and then, like skim through to see if there's any, like, even if a track is completely horrible, sometimes there's like a little bit in it that just has like a nice idea that I can polish up and refine. So sometimes I'll take like a little bit from a incomplete track and just like start a brand new one from that.
So try find parts from like a broken track and see if you can work with that instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if there's, the same goes for me. If there's a track I kind of just threw away, and I get back to it, and I notice that the one thing that was making me try to make this song happen was the chords, for example, then I will just save the MIDI for those chords, and then I'll just use that in a different song.
Alright. So this next question, we kind of went over it before we started the interview today. So I'm going to kind of word it a little bit different. So you make music that gets put into the mapping bounties, and obviously we do have Peppy listening today, so he might be able to help this. Like the mapping bounties, was there anything talked to you outside of like, I need the music, or did you know that that's what the music was going to be used for?
I knew going in that, because we had talked about this earlier, and at that point I wasn't comfortable just churning out songs on a monthly basis. I just wasn't good enough at it. But we did discuss it. I did discuss it with Peppy a while ago, and then I got to a better place and we discussed it again, and I knew going into it that it would be used for like a monthly thing. Like the monthly contests that have been going off for quite a while.
Yeah.
So I just made music that I thought would fit the game. So like I would make music that I think would be fun to map and fun to play on many different difficulties. So it's not just like for the pros or for the beginners. I wanted it to be something like I guess like a soundtrack to Osu.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how that came to fruition. We just discussed it.
Yeah, and that's really lovely, though, that you said that beforehand, where you said you didn't want it to just cater to one type of player. You didn't want it to be too hard, but you didn't want it to be too easy. And that kind of awesomeness, I love that. Like, that you're trying to make sure that music can be played by multiple people and not only cater to the kind of decent players, but hey, this person that's just started, they can pick it up too. I like that a lot, because unfortunately some songs we hear on OS, like, sometimes it is just the mapper, you know. A mapper can make something that's not so hard really hard pretty easily, but I mean, when your song's like 250 BPM and it's like 1/8 heavy, and like the mapper can notice that, then really you pretty much just made a death map or a death song for that aspect.
Yeah, and also I think it fits with just how I make music. I usually make pretty messy songs, but at a lower tempo, around like 130 beats per minute. And I've always been someone who makes I just pack a lot of sounds into a song at the same time, and I think it works for Osu because there will be a simple melody to go off on. There will be maybe like a quicker ARP in the background that the more experienced ones can play in Osu. So I think it was just a good fit to begin with, but I definitely spent some time listening to the popular songs from Osu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do have to say, when I was listening to the songs as they were released, I was kind of like visualizing how they could be mapped. So I think you have done a good job of how you've presented the songs.
I like that. I like that response because that's what I was going for. I was a little bit nervous going in, making that first monthly pack, but glad that the response has been good so far. I'm still looking into making different types of music. That's still gonna be a little bit, I think, because it's not really something that I can control as much. Like I can't just go from super hard electro to, like, I don't know, jazz. Like I can't just do that on a whim, but I will definitely try to make different music because there's a lot of different people and I don't want all of the songs that are released to just be one kind of music.
So cater to a wider...
Yeah.
Sweet. Anyway, we should probably move on to the next question, which is for nekodex. So when you were actually revamping the main theme, what made you go with the chiptune like beat?
Yeah, this was an interesting one. Like, some of the, shall we say, research, or just some of the music I was listening to at the time was for various other rhythm games. I noticed that, like, one of the trends that was happening was where you have, like, the song going on, and then it drops into a little 8-bit chiptune section, and then it goes back into the full song. And I thought, oh, maybe that would be interesting. So the original version that I came up with was like in the part of circles where it drops back to the original theme. It was originally supposed to drop back to like an 8-bit version of it, but it felt a bit too jarring, so like I ended up taking it and putting it in the first section to do a part of the intro before leading back to the full version of the main theme. So it's kind of how it came about. It didn't quite end up how I expected it to when I started, but that's how it came.
Have you been overall like pleased with the theme songs you've produced so far?
I don't know, like as an artist I don't think I'll ever be happy with anything that I release, but I think it gets to a certain point where it's good enough level for me to give to people to enjoy.
I'm pretty pleased with what I got a couple days ago that we'll be able to talk about a whole lot more later on down the line. Hey, I'm not saying anything, but I'm just pleased. I'm pleased by secrets.
I think pleased is an understatement.
Yeah.
Like, guys, he wouldn't shut up for a day.
Shut up.
No. What is that? I don't know this.
We'll link it to you later, don't worry. You'll enjoy it.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. That one was pretty fun to me.
Alright.
Hooray for secrecy.
Get the hype going.
So this one actually comes to both of you here. What kind of music you would say is completely outside of your comfort zone when composing? And I want to know both of your guys' like kryptonite, so to speak, in terms of like composing.
I don't know about out of comfort zone, but the first genre that comes to mind where I would just go, I have no idea where to start, is probably, I don't know, country western.
What?
I was gonna say bluegrass.
Yeah.
See, I kind of zoned out for a bit because I was typing in chat and all I heard there was country western. That is a,
I guess you'd start with a banjo, I don't know.
I had no idea. I would have to go with something like that, or like, I don't know, like abstract, death metal, screamo. Something that would maybe some people would be able to make in my position that I am not able to would be, I'm not good with drum and bass, even though I do want to make drum and bass, I just can't do it.
Collab time, hey?
Yeah, we should do that.
Oh, okay, so that's kind of interesting, but I mean, I kind of instantly expected it to be like on the polar opposite of whatever you guys kind of work on with, and I guess the polar opposite of like EDM and stuff like that's like country, and for cYsmix, it's drum and bass.
Oh yeah, I can whip up a country song in no time.
I would actually love to see a country song for the mapping bounty and see what sort of response that gets.
I'm pretty sure it'd be a bunch of, like, we gotta love them because they're the community, but it'd be a bunch of really mad weebs. Like,
I don't think Peppy will ever allow that to happen.
There'd be that one guy that'd be like, oh, yeehaw, I'm so happy.
I don't know, you could just EDM it up a bit, like Avicii's doing like folk music, and you could probably get somewhere.
If you write the add sort of twist to it, you could probably get away with most things.
Yeah, like if you had like a big electronic beat around it, and then like you just had this awesome banjo solo, I'm pretty sure.
But is that Western anymore then?
Dude, if it's got a banjo in it, man, it's got at least a little bit of Western
Actually,
in it.
I think it was Pigboard Nerds made a song called Swamp Thing, and that's got a banjo-y kind of sound if you want an example.
I guess that's somewhat sure.
It's a very weird song though.
I'd imagine it would be.
It works, so I mean, they did something right.
Alright, cYsmix, this next question kind of depends on if you've actually looked at any of these, but hopefully you have something to say on it. Have you checked out any of the beat maps for the bounties? Have you gotten any time to look over them? What do you think about those?
Great.
They've been great?
Awesome. I played, basically when I first released, the first month I released the first 3 songs, Minute, House with Legs, and Dovregibbensal, I guess you would say Norwegian. I basically checked out every map that would be released and updated them accordingly and played them for every mode. Though Taiko, I can't do Taiko. Okay, so I checked them all out. I played them. There are a lot of really good mappers out there, and I even though I'm not good at Osu, I did watch like an automated playthrough of every map on the higher difficulties, and I gave my input to Peppy. I was really surprised by the response. I wasn't sure what to expect though. I didn't know how many people would submit a map, but I'm pretty happy about it.
House with Legs was a little bit scary to map, and like out of the 3, I felt like that was probably the one that was going to be the toughest.
Yeah, it has a very odd beat, but I think it's fun. It's
it definitely has.
How dare you call my song not fun?
Oh no, I didn't say it wasn't fun, good sir. I said it was hard to map.
Okay. Alright.
It was hard to make fun, because anyway, I tried messing with it for a little bit. I mean, I wasn't going to actually submit anything for bounties, but anytime like we get new music or anything like that, I like to play with it and see what I can do. And I kept on making it a lot harder than I wanted it to be.
Yeah, I've never mapped anything, but I imagine that would be the case. That song is very odd, but it was a lot of fun to make. I was a little bit worried about that one.
No, it's still... Oh, sorry, Debbie, go for it.
I was actually just going to say something a little off topic, but I was going to say, I think the one I'm most looking forward to seeing the winning entry for would have to be the Hall of the Mountain King remix. I'm really looking forward to seeing what people make for that one.
Which one?
The third one that I can't pronounce.
Oh yeah.
I know the song is Hall of the Mountain King, so...
Yes, that is correct. Jamie, you're a Norwegian idol.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're supposed to laugh.
Like what people are saying, it's hard to make fun equals not fun. Yeah, that kind of happens. Like if, I don't know, like my mapping style's pretty symmetric and it follows... I've got my own written rules that I don't like to break. And every once in a while I'll break them, and if I break them, I feel like the map is garbage in my eyes, but some people are like, oh no, that's really good. And it's
Actually,
just like...
Sorry, something just came to my head. Before we go on to the next question, do you actually look back at individual kind of reactions and responses to the tracks and try to cater more music towards the songs that get better replies? Or
Yeah.
do you continuously try to make more variety in the songs?
Well, fortunately, both of those things equal to one because everyone seemed to be happy with the selection for the first month. And the occasional critique I got was that they wanted something a little bit more different, quieter, because I guess my music is pretty loud. I'm not sure if I delivered on that front actually, but I do tend to take critique, like especially now that I do this seriously. I want to be able to do things that the people will enjoy, and so I will read the comments on each blog post and see what people think about the songs. And so I saw that Manic got a pretty big response, so I'm probably gonna make another slightly high BPM song like that again.
Well, our last question before we give it out to the community so they can ask. This one's kind of a little bit of a one that I've kind of been bringing up over a while because I want to see something happen with it. But if OStream is still an ongoing thing, which I do believe it is, I don't think it's actually moved too much. Would you guys be interested in making music for that as well?
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Well, easy.
No, I hope Pepe's actually listening to this one because there's more music. Like, if you need mappers or something, you know, like, come on, like, I'll see if I can't get some people together. We need to get that thing going. I want my buddy's music in your game, and it's just sitting there in a file. It's completely done. It needs a time clip on one song, and it's just been sitting there in limbo.
I believe.
I do believe too. I believe it. Like the resurrection, 2016. Come on.
Just a quick one more thing before we
quickly and say that hey guys, I've said to everyone who's been involved with our stream that if you really want to see it come back, then make it happen, because I honestly don't have the time to see it through.
Okay, what do I need to do?
drop everything else you're
I'll
doing.
talk with Deed. He knows the most about it right now.
All right, I'll give Deed a message, and thank you for answering that. Much appreciated.
And now we have all been blessed.
All right, so,
Yeah, I was just gonna ask one more quick thing actually for nekodex.
go for it.
Can we expect any more theme songs coming up soon? Or is Circles gonna be the main one for quite some time?
That's a good question.
Yes is the answer.
Wait, what?
I'm just gonna go ahead and answer that for me.
Well, Langley said yes, so, well, can't let him down now, can we?
Ooh.
Oh,
And before
boy.
like triangles.
Shh, hexagons.
VUV, that OStream, it wasn't a copyright. It was so ridiculous. Like,
Let's just not even go into that. It's
Yeah,
just
let's not. It's just.
No, let's completely go into that.
no.
Again. Peppy,
No
I
no no
want
no
your
no 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 no
opinion.
no 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 no.
Dude, I can tell you his opinion was probably just hate. Maybe not
Hey,
real
it's a
hate,
beehive. Let's put my hand inside of it.
but yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. I mean, I had never seen something that, like, Anyways,
Q&A.
yes. Now we're gonna open this up. We've got about 15 minutes, guys. We have one question. Kiyanko actually has a question here. We're gonna go ahead and let her speak that to both cYsmix and nekodex. So you guys have fun with that real quick. And if anybody else has questions, feel free to send them to us. Or if you don't want to actually speak them and you just want to type them, let us know and we'll speak that aloud for you. Yes, you are okay to ask your question. That means go.
I needed to mute my phone because I'm getting a lot of texts, and I don't think you want to hear Graves quotes like every 20 seconds while I talk.
No. So go ahead. You're good.
Okay, the question is for both of these fine people, and the question. Okay, I hope I sound all right.
You're
And
good.
The question is, have you composed music? Okay, for both of them, have either of you composed music for any other games or for other communities online?
I believe Langley has.
I have, not in a big way. I made a song for a game trailer once, a pretty unknown game.
What game was it?
You know what? It is called Fairy Alchemy, I think. It's been a while. I'll check. What's it called? Favors Alchemy is called. And I made an orchestral intro to the game trailer. You can pretty much, if you go to Steam and just search for that, you'll see the game trailer. And then I have made sound effects for a game called At the Gates, which is a game developed by the lead designer of Civilization 5. I still do the sound effects for that game.
Was the game released? I'm not familiar with the name of it.
At the Gates?
Yeah.
It's not released yet. I'm still working on it.
Oh, okay.
It was kickstarted, I believe.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it's because like you said with the other one, it's because like you said with the other one you did, it never took off, so I was curious if it was something that was like still in progress or something that was already released or just like wasn't going anymore.
Yeah, I haven't made anything that's for a game that's been released yet, sadly. But let's hope that changed. I don't know about
Someday. Just someday.
Someday. Hashtag soon.
Hashtag believe. Yeah, what about us? Us is released?
No, no. That's ghost producing. I've never ever. I don't know what game are you talking about.
I made some stuff for us stream, which is completely not us, right? So that.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's a complete separate entity.
Oh,
I have
man.
I have some work in progress tracks sitting around waiting for a friend of mine that's apparently going to make an indie title, but I guess it's all up to him whether or not it actually sees the light of day.
All right. Okay, we have about 10 minutes, guys. So if anyone else has any questions, feel free to give those out for us.
It's just gonna be complete silence for about 10 minutes now.
Oh no, here we go. Beatbreakers S has a question to both. I'm sure you know about Pepe's love for the Tetoi song Miro by Akino. No, man, you got all this stuff that I can't read, right? Akino, will you ever make a similar song to fuel his 195 BPM Tatouo desires? And then he says, Haro.
What?
What was that? I don't.
Here. You know what? I'm terrible at pronouncing this stuff, so
Even
let's
Pippi's
use
just like,
magic.
what?
There you go.
Okay, never heard of it.
Boom.
Wasn't that the,
He
Kantoke?
just destroyed a lot of people's dreams there.
Yeah, wasn't it the Kantoko, anime opening?
I don't know. What kind of music is that?
Yeah, it's the yeah, Kantoko. It's just Japanese stuff. I don't know the exact genre.
Oh, it's Japanese music, huh?
Yeah, it's a anime opening.
Yeah, I haven't heard it. I wouldn't know. If I would be able to. I don't know. Jamie, will you answer this one? Yeah.
The lovely kind of question. Thank you so much for your question. Unfortunately.
Ah, Kantai, that's the
Oh.
Kantai.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh shit.
I was totally thinking something else.
I know that game.
Yeah, they got an anime and Miro was the opening.
Oh.
It's a very meh opening.
Oh,
There are much better ones. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I am not sorry. There are better openings.
Beat Breakers, you didn't miss anything, unfortunately. All right, we have a little bit more time, guys. If anybody has any questions, we are free to take them. If not, we're probably just gonna have a nice little chat for the next 6-7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
What's your guys' favorite food while we're waiting for questions? Just throwing that random stuff out there.
I like pizza.
Pizza's always good.
Tacos.
No, see, no, wait a second. Now, pizza's a blanket question. You can't do that because then the question becomes not pizza, but what type of pizza. There's way too many pizzas.
I like... If it doesn't have pineapple on it, I'll eat it.
There's only one
man,
correct answer, by
Hawaiian
the way.
pizza is so good.
No.
There's only one correct answer, by the way, so I mean...
Wait a second. Did he just say he doesn't like pineapple pizza?
Yeah.
What? How can you not like a Hawaiian
I have
pizza? They're
freedom of
delicious.
speech. Don't
Yeah, of course
hit
you
me.
have freedom of speech, and you're perfectly free not to like pineapple on your pizza, but I'm perfectly free to go, what?
No, I don't. I just don't get that sweet combination with the savory and salty pizza.
Oh man, it's just like with the big old slices of Canadian bacon. Oh man, or ham for what some people would.
Oh, I see a question.
Okay, wait a second. Let's see here.
What's your favorite song made by the other person?
I like nekodex made this drum and bass song called Okinawa Days.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, I like that one. How old is that?
That kind of old, I think. A few years.
Yeah, no, I like that one. It has a nice melody to it. I think that would be my favorite. And also Circles, but I hear it all the time now.
You can't turn that off.
Dude, I remember when it was still like, you know, in like just listening phase. Like it wasn't actually added yet, and it was there, and I didn't even realize it was there, because the last time I'd actually gotten to hear it semi-clear was when it was coins, and I was like, oh man, this is so great. And then when it actually did, like I mapped an entire beat map to it, and then I named it something really stupid in the editor so nobody knows what I was doing. It was like my tuba, I take this to my grave or something. And it was fun. It's just a fun song. I like it.
Now, I'm actually curious to know, Jamie, what is your favorite song by me?
There's this really cool track on your Voodooism album. I think it's called Magic.
Oh yeah, I remember when I made that one myself.
I'm just messing with you. That's made by Nato, I believe.
No, I think you're wrong. I think that was definitely me. And Peppy, I like that I called Peppy Puppy. There's something
Wow.
in me that just somehow I just say puppy.
No man.
That went weird pretty quickly.
No, I think
It's okay.
appropriate.
It's 4 minutes left. It's okay to get a little weird.
Actually, that's a quick question. I already showed nekodex this, but what do you think about the YouTube video of the people playing the Circles beat map with the Square skin?
They're not circles.
Why is that a skin?
It's amazing!
It is not amazing. It's annoying.
It's like the most ingenious skin ever.
It's a bunch of boxes.
So?
How is that like, you know, amazing?
It's not that much different from a bunch of circles. I'm in trouble, aren't I?
No.
Okay, good.
No, I'm like, nekodex, did you actually say the song or was that a joke?
That was a joke.
Okay, so what's the actual song? We're still waiting.
The last track on Voodooism, like Souls of the Forest, I think that was kind of underrated. I don't think even Langley particularly liked it, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I like the vibe. It had a really nice feel to it.
it's so old. It's so old and fragile. I haven't listened to that song in probably a year.
It just feels so nice, like just to round out the entire album after that entire journey. It just feels good.
Wow, you just called my album a journey.
Was it not?
I'm not to say. I'm glad that. I like the melody on that track. But I think that Okinawa Days is my favorite by you because it has very surprisingly chill, yet it is kind of high pace and it's drum and bass and the chords are great.
Thanks.
Alright guys, we've got 2 minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and... Is there any more questions? Last call, guys. If not, we've got a minute left. I'm going to use it to wrap it up.
Hey, what's your favorite type of cheese?
Mine? I love Colby Jack. Oh god, it's so good.
It's like regular cheese.
What's regular cheese in Norwegian?
Yeah.
Cheese. Yellow cheese that is not molding.
Oh. Pepper Jack is pretty good cheese too, but... Anyways, guys. I do want to thank nekodex and cYsmix coming out today. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, anytime.
No problem.
Alright, and for those that actually came out to listen to us live today, we do appreciate that. Remember, these things do go up on YouTube, no DBZ screams for you guys. And we will be back. Do we have an actual date to give out, or just see you next time? Do we have?
See you next time.
Next one? Okay. Yep. All right, guys. Remember, rhythm's only a click away, and we'll see y'all real soon. Later.
Bye.
Buy the coins.